Hey over there, Joe Lunchbox.
Enjoy Nightingale.
And today we've landed right here in Bradford, Pennsylvania. Now, me as a kid, I was a Boy Scout. And when you're a Boy Scout, you always play with fire and you always play with knives. Maybe not play with them is not the right word. You'd get the corners cut off the car if you actually played with them. But we learned how to use them in a safe manner. So, here in Bradford, both case knives and Zippo lighters have been manufactured. They're both made in American companies. They're not the same company, but they both happen to be manufactured in Bradford, Pennsylvania. So that's why behind us is the Zippo and Case Knife Museum and also their flagship store. Now we're gonna go in, we're gonna take a tour. We're gonna show you there is everything to be there. I've loved Zippos since I've been young. I bought my first one. It had a little devil on it. We got it from an Air Force museum in New York City. And it said, "To Joe from your loving wife, Jenny." And it wasn't Joy, it was before I knew Joy. But I thought it was funny that this mass-produced lighter, it was a replica of a World War II lighter, had my name on it. So that was a lighter for me. It broke, Joy got it fixed for me. I still have it to this day, probably like 25 years, if not more than that, which is crazy for me to think. But I'm ranting. I'm just telling you a story here. But I know that's not what you're here for. You're here to see the museum, and that's what we're about to do. But before we do, one last thing. If you could like this video, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, we'd greatly appreciate it. Ring the notification bell, comment down below. All that stuff is so helpful, so appreciated. But it's time to do this. Step right up. Let's go for this ride. I wish we saw a spot at night. All the lights leading in are Zippos, and those red flames look like they will light up to be the entrance lights into the museum. See them marking the paths into the facility right as we make our way to the building. The flame on this big Zippo on top of the building actually has some neon in that flame. At night, probably driving down that road, that thing must light up and be beautiful. We have the newer Zippo car. Wasn't the one from back in the day, but still is just as glorious. See the flames coming out, showing that it's windproof as the car drives down the road, the flames shooting to the back, but still lit. I want to ride in the Zippo car. We came to this museum, I wore an appropriate t-shirt. I was like, you know what? A t-shirt from Silver Dollar City, the last ride, fire in the hole. When I think of lighters, I think of fire. Of course, you could get a Zippo lighter at the Zippo Museum, but they missed an opportunity. Why aren't they zip up Zippo hoodies? You are presented with a big spinning globe as you enter the museum. The 2 X's for case, and above it, the flame for Zippo. Circling around it, we have a row of Zippo lighters, and on the inside of that, some case knives. Our timeline is starting earlier than both Case and Zippo started. We're starting in 1784 when the Six Nation Iroquois, the land was sold to pioneers. So we're starting more timeline of the area than just the knife and the lighter company. And stuff in New York. The first chewing gum in stick form is introduced in Staten Island, New York.
80 Thomas Edison patents and light bulbs.
And when you think of Pennsylvania, a lot of people think of steel and also coal, but did you know there was also oil here in Bradford? You still could see some of the spots that oil was taken from. 1889, we're getting something. The Case family enters the knife business as jobbers. First Ferris wheel on 93 at the Chicago World's Fair, and Jello was introduced. Wiggles for the first time in 97. This name's going to be important. The Blaisdell Brothers Wood Company carries on kindling business in Brooklyn, Bradford, and other locations. George Blaisdell's father, Philo, is one of the partners. The South Bradford racetrack occupies what is now the site of Zippo's Congress Street plant. We got more timelines about this museum. John, Jean, and Andrew Case leave the Cattaraugus Cutlery Company to begin their own company, Case Brothers Cutlery Company, in 1900s. Starting from the Case family line, they just started and moving company family members and shifting and moving factories. Like, look, 1911, we finally get a copyright. Case employs 116 people, men and women in their manufacture in Bradford. Grinders are paid 80.5 cents per hour, the highest wage. Ooh. And here we have 1929. W.R. Case & Sons moved to a larger quarters in East Bradford on Russell Boulevard. And on this map, we have things that say, like, see the globe? That means it's the world. This is more Bradford. The X's are the Case, and the little flames are Zippo. I'm talking about Zippo. George Blaisdell, inspired by a crude Austrian lighter that works, refines design, and debuts the Zippo windproof lighter, 1932. Ooh, in 36, we add a hinge to the Zippo lighter. Figure first Zippos introduced in 32. America's going into war, so by 42, Zippo reaches the 1 million sales mark. Zippo begins to produce lighters for World War II. Because of the war requisitioning, lighters are made of low-grade steel and painted with a black crackle finish. It's interesting, their ad campaign in 63 was showing that lighters from World War II still work. Here's a question for you. Do you know what Big Bird and Zippo lighters have in common?
What?
They're both on this wall of timeline. So in 1969, Sesame Street debuted on public television, but Zippo also sells their 100 millionth lighter. And in 72, W.R. Case & Sons is sold to American Brands Incorporated. From far away, it looks like an American flag. As we approach, we start to realize that the flag is made up by tons of Zippo lighters. From Dancing Bears to Sherlock Holmes. There really was everything on Zippo lighters. This one is cool to me. Fraternal Orders of the Eagles. My grandfather on my father's side was a member of the Eagles. And we see on this row of white some initials on the upper right hand corner of the lighters. Those are actually the artist's initials that designed those lighters. We have one of those Austrian lighters that inspired George Blaisdell. This one you see it had a removable top. Blaisdell design and that hinge that gives it the Zippo, that click you like when you pop it open. We have the sketch and copy of the patent from March 3rd, 1936 for the Zippo. Joy, are you spinning the flint wheel to light the lighter?
No, I'm spinning it to look at others.
Oh, you're saying it's a display to see Zippos. Let's spin it. Let's look at those Zippos. Ooh. We have Zippo by Caesar. Piece of art. You see all the Zippos have been crushed into this cube. This was presented at the grand opening of this museum. We see what George's office looked like in the first building before it moved to a newer factory in the 50s. They actually have the first sale made by the company. Some letters from World War II military people thanking them for the lighter. We have the first Zippo car. No, it wasn't fueled by Zippo lighter fluid, but it looked like the world's biggest lighter back then. Used for advertising in the 50s. Another spinning flint wheel showing Zippo lighters of the 50s. Ooh. George Blaisdell was pioneered countless ways to get attention and earn the trust of the customers everywhere. Perhaps his most spectacular tactic was the complete transformation of a 1947 Chrysler Saratoga into a giant rolling replica of a Zippo windproof lighter. If lots of the merch of the Zippo car and some old photos of it. We have the original Zippo car. And here we have the replica Zippo car. Fake brick wall, it says Zippo, the windproof lighters. Almost like we're looking into the factory where they were making those Zippo lighters. Ooh, neon. And in 39, Zippo produced tabletop lighters. A Zippo magnifier. In case you do run out of fluid, you could always use the magnifying glass to start a fire if you have the sun. You see the sad clown. Why zip zip? doesn't light when one Zip does, and then the other clown gives him the Zippo and is able to light his big cigar. Yeah, one has the Three Stooges. What about Zippo tape measures? Another ad, we see the little boy and the little girl giving dad and mom Zippo lighters as Christmas gifts. Talking about Christmas, some stores use Christmas tree displays to advertise their lighters. When they were advertising that they could make lighters for anything, we see a sample box of promotional Zippo lighters showing the silk screens that could be put on, and anything could have been on a Zippo, and anything was. They have a collection of Disney Zippo lighters. We're getting into Zippo, how important it was for soldiers during the war because they were windproof, could be in any condition. We have two soldiers hiding in their bunker using that Zippo lighter to light their cigarettes. Some Zippos from military services.
That looks pretty cool.
You can see how much this man loved his Zippo lighter. He got some ladies' names tattooed on him, but in the very center, he's getting the tattoo of his Zippo lighter. And obviously, Zippo's been used by military officers, not just World War II. We have some from the Vietnam War, some for Korean War, others when soldiers arrived in Kuwait City in '91. Zippos in cinema, like Bruce Willis in Die Hard. Even Hitchcock understood lighting their cigarettes with a Zippo in The Birds, a 2010 movie with Ryan Reynolds, stuck in a casket with only a cell phone, a pocket knife, and a Zippo lighter. And he turned out okay. I guess it was all due to the Zippo lighter. There's even Zippo lighters for the Beatles. Rolling Stone lighters. Elvis Presley. Oh, look at that. Hear that click? You do it, George. George knows how to handle a lighter. And we move from Zippo to the W.R. Case & Sons find home in Bradford. We actually have an early photo of them in Little Valley, New York. Job Case is seated in the wicker chair. W.R. Case is seated on his right. Earlier knives that they made, like this one, it was called the banana knife, marked Case Tested XX. Joy, which one do you like?
The hobo is cool with the fork and then the knife.
And there was knives for every holiday. These used a tree celluloid handle to advertise for Christmas. You remember Job Case? He's the one in the photo with the long white beard. We actually have his journal. And we have an article from 1903 and some early journal entries from 1900. You call that a knife? No, this is a knife. And we actually have some early cutlery, not made by Case, but presented to them. These were made in England. First they sold this one in the gift shop, Case 6106. It was a 25-cent knife. I would go for a 25-cent made in America knife. That was between 35 and 40 of the 1900s. I don't think we're getting anything for a 25-cent knife like that anymore. Now you see a photo of the Case factory, and you see that little oil rig? You can see the oil history of Bradford right outside the door of the Case factory. The Case Cutlery Wall of Fame, honoring people from founders to salesmen of J. Russell Case, the man responsible for bringing W.R. Case & Sons to Bradford and running the company until his death in 1953. One of his big passions was playing poker. Someone should tell him he's facing the cards the wrong way. All the other players could see his hand. I love the variety of products. From the pocket knives we were looking at, to hatchets, even some nice cutlery. Masters of metalworking. It is amazing that two separate companies, Zippo and Case, rose independently to be world-renowned in the same town due to their quality of working with metal, creating these items. The two companies have joined forces. Well, actually, they stayed two separate companies. But in 2008, Case produced a series of 4 jigged antique bone handle knives with an exclusive Zippo shield. There's the Zippo. Here's a special for the museum. 20 years of the museum. You get a knife and a Zippo. This was back in 2017. We have some Zippo inserts. Zippo quality control, including testing, case finishing, and durability. You could have a single torch or a double torch. Have you ever seen something like this? I know I haven't. That's because Zippo considered this special design for a pipe lighter, but never manufactured it. Other prototypes, like one that has a flint wheel on both sides, another Zippo that would have lit when you open the case, because you found it goes from that to that, and it keeps on changing. All the little pieces and parts. This would be the inside insert, and here we have the outside case. Imagine all done by hand. Now we have these conveyor belts machines manufacturing them all. And that world famous Zippo full lifetime guarantee is true. It's not fake. I got my first Zippo at the age of 15. It broke, the hinge broke. After many years of me trying to play with it too much, do tricks, Joy sent it away one Christmas, and I got it all fixed, that hinge repaired. And we're talking like 20 years later.
Yeah.
It's a good guarantee. The famous Zippo clinic. But this needs to be represented too, doesn't it? Oh, it does. The famous Zippo clinic, Zippo. If we were here during the week, we actually have the Zippo clinic. So when Joy mailed away my lighter to get fixed, this is where it would have came to. We have some of the lighters that we're taking back into to be fixed, from woodcutters to dump truck beds to taxiing airplanes, ball and socket truck crane. So they will repair or replace.
Because I don't think garbage disposal
Yeah, garbage disposal lighter, if they can repair, that's amazing.
or box trim shredder.
Imagine like leaning into your ice crusher. Oh no! Talking about how brands use Zippo, here we have a Popsicle logo from 1965. Zippo was aware of only 2 other Zippo lighters imprinted with this logo. This is slim, and the other 2 are both regular size lighters. Case displayed knives like this one were produced for salesmen in very limited number, because they're big knives. Just for reference, I know you're just looking at this knife, but we'll pan up and we'll see some regular size knives. Green Bone. This knife was donated by Ralph Simpson of Greensboro, North Carolina in 1849 as a Boy Scout. He crafted this sheath. So in Boy Scouts in 49, do you think he was getting his Leatherworks merit badge to make a knife case for his knife? Display of straight razors and some with their original boxes. Some Harley Davidson lighters. This one, you can see the gas tank on top of the Zippo. We have Christopher Columbus edition knives for the 500-year anniversary of the Discovery of America. The Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, you see they're all the Italian flag colors. We have one man's collection of case trappers, donated by Donald Tronetti. Can I have things I didn't think I'd see at the Zippo Case Knife Museum for $100, Alex? I was not planning on finding a marble maze. I do love that if you see the marbles, they're actually little pool balls. We have stripes and solids. Going around, spinning, ringing bells, doing loop-de-loos. It does have a big lighter in the middle, but nothing has interacted with the big lighter yet. Here we go, we're going to the big lighter. What happens? Oh, it opened! Dun-dun-dun. This machine is named Zach, because the bowling machine was contest in 1995. The winning entry was submitted by Kelly Rose to name this machine an audio-kinetic bowling machine. Another one actually opens the case knife. In 2012, Zippo made their 500 millionth lighter, and it's sitting right there. They're all lined up like he's going to play dominoes with Zippos. We actually have the 1932 George's first lighter. And then we go and they start making the first lighter in 33 out of the brass tube. And we watch the productions. Go, 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 go. And you could tell a lot from the stamps on the bottom. But one thing you could always tell them is they're still made here in the USA. We've seen Harley logos on Zippos. Now we see Zippo logos on a Harley. We're learning how Zippo lighters are going international. And we pass a love tester. And then we exit through the gift shop. But it's not actually a love tester. It's How Cold Are Your Hands by Zippo. Push the shooting and release, then squeeze the handle. Let's see. I'm human.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
How much is that?
It's free.
Oh, it's free.
Oh, Joy is a piece of toast. I was afraid you were going to be Canadian. And the little hand test was free. It actually has the token built in. You don't have to even put a quarter in. You can't go wrong when a museum has free complimentary coffee. And like any good attraction, we exit through a nice sized gift shop. The right side is case knives. The left side is Zippos. I think we need an astronaut machete. We end all of our videos by saying, been there, done that. The astronaut machete says, been there and back. It's close. You want to bring home a blue knife with you after you're done looking at the museum? Or maybe a green? You can. Buy one, plant one. I guess if you get a Zippo, we can plant a tree. We have a giant Zippo with a bonsai. I don't know, I'm going to say Zippo. What are they doing? When you get a Zippo, it says you have to use their fluid, otherwise the warranty is null and void. They're selling Runzo lighter fluid, not Zippo. This lighter's hysterical. If you ever had a Zippo, after using it so many times you have to change the flints in the bottom, that is a piece of duct tape holding a little pack of replacement flints to the lighter. But it's the print on it. It's not really there. These are the flints. 6 genuine flints that was taped on that lighter. A Zippo Hippo Hawaiian shirt. They really do have everything here. Crazy inserts, accessories. Look at this one. Flame comes out the side. Switch to the butane. It's a big museum. And I found my favorite thing. I do a lot of my research using these Images of America books. But this Image of America book comes with the Zippo lighter of it. And if you're like me and collect things, they actually have a collector's case. So there you have it, the Zippo and Case Knife Museum. It is interesting that they're not the same company, but they share a museum. It just happens that they're both made here in Bradford, Pennsylvania. It is a nice museum. I always love when a company wants to show off their products, they make a free museum. They're not trying to profit from you. They know you probably will buy something in a gift shop. We did. We actually got the book that we showed you with the lighter that came with it. Good souvenir. I love reading those books, learning history. Now I can learn more about this spot.
And you have another Zippo.
And I have another Zippo. I do have to get the wall display. The collection's getting, I might soon need a wall display. But we're so happy you came along with us on this. We never take it for granted when you join us on these adventures. And we're gonna call it though, Zippo Case Knife Museum. Been there, done that. Remember folks, safe travels.
Goodies.
And live life. You've stayed to the end of the video. You've earned some extra credit. We've been driving south from the museum, trying to make our way to Route 80, which goes straight across Pennsylvania, which is going to get us home, and we found something. I don't think this was carved using a case knife. I think they used something a little bit bigger, but it's cool. We had to share with you. That iconic photo of Times Square as a wood carving. We were just driving down the road, no clue of this whatsoever, came upon it. It is awesome. We are so happy we get to share this with you. One little final touch to end out a good day. Who wants to flick a Bic when you could have a Zippo?